Hello, everybody. This video is sponsored by Aura. So, you guys know, I am tired of all the spam phone calls that I get. I can't take it anymore. I was even on the air, and somebody called, and I had to put a chipmunk voice in because I was tired of the spammer.
Yeah, this is a COVID payroll refund for business owners. Can I just ask you, are you a business owner?
No, me? Come on, man. They threw me out of my tree last week because I brought too many nuts into the tree.
You know, data brokers, they make a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, pretty much anybody who's looking to find out more about you. Aura does a lot to protect you and your family from the online threats that you can't see. It's really easy to set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at one affordable price. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online while you can focus on other things with peace of mind. Now put on a sweatshirt and a hat, me. Look, you can either let people profit or exploit your private information, or you can go to aura.com/Harloff. Simple. To start your 2-week free trial, which is also linked below in the description. Aura, I'm telling you, get this, sign up for this. It'll help yourself, protect yourself. Let's get to the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Capes and Cowls. Big thing. It is Friday, and there's stuff to talk about. Look, we're going to get into Echo. I don't know how much we're going to really do spoilers on this one because I don't think a lot of people are watching it, to be honest. So I don't want to be like, I'm not really watching Echo, so I don't want it to be spoiled. I'm not even going to lead with it. We're going to talk about it, though. We're going to give our opinions on it, and if you want to watch the spoilers, again, doesn't seem like many of you are because I had the my second episode that I did reaction, and none of you clicked on it. So it gives an indication. Is it a terrible show? No, I don't think so. Is it a great show? No, I don't think so. So we'll get into that. Fantastic Four. I had a conversation with Mike Kalinowski the other day, and we were talking about when the new Star Wars movie was potentially going to come out, and he had mentioned May of 2025. And I said, no way. I said, there's no way. I said, because, and especially they got Fantastic Four. He's like, Fantastic Four ain't landing there. I said, you don't think so? I still don't think he's right about the Star Wars portion of it, but he might be right about the Fantastic Four because it looks like they're pushing shooting because of Pedro Pascal. Does that mean that they're going to move that date? We'll talk about that. There's a ton of other stuff, man. There's, as mentioning Echo, there were deleted scenes that shows that the show was kind of significantly different than what it is today. There's some DC stuff. James Gunn. There's rumors about Supergirl. Who's going to play Supergirl? I'll tell you, out of the names that were rumored, I like them, but not my choice. Not my choice. Doesn't matter because I ain't casting it. But I'll give you my choice and tell you who was up for it and see what the guys think about their choice. That and more on today's show. So if you're brand new to the show, hit that button. That's the subscribe button. That means we want you guys to be part of the conversation. If you stumbled upon this, and even if you're watching on your TV and you're like, oh, what I watch on my TV, pick up your phone. I know you have your phone near you. Hit that subscribe button. So sometimes we see these views, and really a lot of the views of the people coming in are not even the subscribers. Well, become a subscriber. Become part of the conversation. We do it every week here. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. It is Capes and Cowls. It's going to be me, Coy, and Winston eventually. Here it is. Let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Capes and Cowls. Myself, Coy Jandro, Winston A. Marshall. It's us. Well, Winston's on his way. He'll be here soon. So it's me and you.
I think it's the first time we've had an empty seat.
Right
there
as we
he
said
is.
it. Right as we said it.
We just manifested Winston Marshall. It was a one shot without him.
Watch this.
Up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Capes and Cowls. It's myself, Coy Jandro, Winston A. Marshall.
Got wrestling walk-in music.
And Ralph Biscuits. What's up, guys? Nice to...
Did we just start?
Yeah. We were talking.
Wow.
That's perfect.
Amazing.
Perfect. Yeah.
We're talking about life.
We just did the intro, but now we're I'm actually going to leave all.
I think it's great. I like the double intro because you got to walk-in music. It's like a fake out.
That was definitely a dream, bro. Just like out here hitting the.
It's good.
With our own theme playing.
Right.
You summoned us to start.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You were parking and we're like, I think we should start. I think it's about that time.
Yeah, no.
We got all right. So we got a
quick question.
No,
you got a rental?
Oh, yeah. My car's in the shop.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I was like, I don't see.
I'm just wandering the street. I walked.
Unfortunately, we don't have time for rental talk because we got a quick out here today. I'm excited because I got a chance. I'm going to be interviewing Ian McShane. Of course, from so many. I could say John Wick, but then I could say Pirates of the Caribbean. I could say Deadwood. I could say
everything.
Yeah.
When you texted that, I was like, oh yeah, we'll leave.
I got to ask him about One Piece.
Yeah.
He narrated One Piece.
Dude, it's so special.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to talk to him about, everything. And I'm never going to do it, but I just want to hear him say, Jonathan. He's going to be in that new movie, not Continental, the Ballerina.
Yeah, he's tying that world together. I think he's so talented. That dude is immediately like this guy. Like you see him on screen, he's so much gravitas.
Yeah, I got him for like 20 minutes. I think I'm going to put it in either in next Monday's show or the following because he's got a new movie coming out called American Star. So we'll be talking about that.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into some of these topics because there's a lot. Now, we can go real quick. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about Echo, but we're not going to talk about any spoilers because I just don't think enough people have seen the show. So it's not worth. We didn't lead with it. We'll talk about it, and I don't even know what the guys think about it so far. I think I kind of got an inkling of what Coy said, and here's my thoughts on it. It's fine. The show's fine. It's not great. I wanted it to be great. It doesn't. It sells itself as something differently in the trailer for sure. And the way I said it, it's like Netflix Lite meets CW, right? It's got and it's better, as you said, Coy said before, it's better than a lot of the stuff that Marvel has done recently. True. It's just forgettable. And I think I know the reason why they dumped it all at once. Because this is the perfect example. I watched 3 episodes of it and I wanted to see how the story was going. I was like, I'll have the next one. I'll watch it. And then I haven't gone back to go. It's been out. And I haven't gone back to watch
finish.
4 and 5. And
you haven't finished?
No, I haven't.
4's the best. I think the best episode.
I'm sure it is, and that's probably why they did it. And it's like if you're watching, you're like, I want to see where the story goes. But if it's week to week, I think they would have lost even more people. So
because we did have a gap with the screeners early.
Yeah, so that's why I just kind of bailed on it.
Without spoiling anything, what's the main focus on 4?
Conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, so, Winston, what do you think of the show overall?
You hit it. It's fine.
Yeah.
There are moments where I'm like, wow, okay, cool. There are other moments where I'm like, I honestly found myself completely drifting off and doing something else.
Right.
Which
It's dull sometimes.
This is similar to it's not a foreign language film, but it is in the sense of, like, for example, you can't watch Parasite unless you speak Korean. You can't watch Parasite without paying attention to the subtitles. I love that ASL took such a major element to the show, and that added like both a unique look into the world of Echo and anybody that uses ASL or anything like that. But because the show at times was boring, if you were not engaged, I'm not paying attention to the subtitles.
You know what's funny about that is I was during my my reaction, I said something. I was like, "Who's that? Is that our uncle or father?" He's like, "Dude, pay attention." I'm like, "They lost me, man." And I'm like, "They lost me."
So, like, for example, I have been a massive anime head since I can remember. And there are times where I straight up am like, I'm not gonna watch anime right now because I don't have the attention span to read subtitles.
Right.
Or this is a part of the story that's kind of boring. So, like, once we get to another story arc, I'll hop back in because of whatever. So that was the only problem with this, is at times, because it could be boring, I found myself drifting.
It just doesn't hold you the way you.
No.
The way that
Sometimes
the trailer.
it does.
Sometimes it does, but the way that the trailer, that first trailer came out, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna be locked into this thing to see. And I don't even think what I would assume, and you could tell me, the stuff that you really saw in the trailer doesn't seem like it happens until like the end of the series.
I think for me, if it's like, exceptional, great, good, fine, I think I'm a little above your guys' take, and I go good over fine for my experience of it, because I wasn't as bored as it seemed like you guys got in parts. but I definitely wanted more, and I do feel like the edit was more my issue because I think it was probably, I heard rumors it was 8 at one point, and then it got brought down to its standard 6, and then
5,
it became
right,
5.
yeah.
So I heard like, you know, it was 8 when they were conceiving it, and then it was going to be a regular, and then they were like, ooh, enough is still not good. They made it 5. And I think that the strength of 6 or 8 would have been the supporting characters that I really enjoyed didn't ever have a beat to close on, and that felt like hollow, which you haven't gotten to yet. But I love like what Biscuits and what
Biscuits.
to Biscuits and Henry, the guy that works at the skate rink, this
Those guys,
intimidating that guy. I really wanted more of his journey alongside Echo's, and I also think you haven't gotten to 4 yet, but there's the first time that I felt like Maya was as fleshed out as she needed to be was in 4.
Okay.
And my issue was I got the stoicism, I got the warrior, I got all of that, but I wanted to see a little bit of what was driving her besides just vengeance, because that's John Wick needs the dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like John Wick needs the dog.
Yeah,
Well, because the dog is his wife. That's the other thing. You're like, yes, you're okay. It's a dog, and like,
but there was the last
dogs,
thing of his wife,
it's the last thing of his wife, and that becomes the anchor. So if there was,
I want a little bit more than just like I was in New York, I was wrong.
The fact that she's more fleshed out overall in Hawkeye than her own show.
I think by the time you get to 4, I'm in. Like, and so my issue would be I would have loved to have seen the vulnerability and the honesty behind her acting earlier, so I could be invested earlier, and then maybe you wouldn't have been as bored or wouldn't have been disengaged.
Yeah, it was again. I think
you just didn't connect to enough people.
I think that what it is that I'm interested enough in the story and the fact that, again, the same reason I brought up like Blue Beetle, Ms. Marvel, the stuff with the family and the stuff with her grandmother and all that works. It works really well. And I love the connection with the grandmother's ex-boyfriend, and he's helping her out. Like, that all works. But the thing is, you could tell that they were trying to sell it on the Kingpin angle of it for a lot of it. And that sometimes when they were doing that stuff, the emotional stuff, that stuff worked. But then they would do some of the fight choreograph stuff in the beginning was bad. It was like not good, bad. And fake blood, and I'm talking about like CGI blood. It drives me nuts. I hate CGI blood.
I think they made the show TVMA after Hawkeye. I don't think this was intended to be.
Maybe not.
That's what it felt like to me. Was they went, okay, we want to get it darker to appeal to Netflix and bridge the gap towards our new take on Daredevil. I think the reaction to Hawkeye Kingpin changed the show a lot. I think they were like, we need to make it a little, and then they added some Kingpin footage.
Right.
Maybe they let D'Onofrio go back in and do some stuff on his own.
Thing
like
when he beats the piss out of that
felt
guy.
like maybe because you don't need that actor. I mean, it's a new actor. It's a young Laqua Cox, and the scene in the plane. I don't think you've gotten to yet. The scene of him talking to certain people wouldn't need all the actors back. You'd need a soundstage. So I could see them upping the Kingpin, making it more like the Netflix show, then adding the blood so it feels.
Well, there is a story that will, after I hear Winston's point that I want to jump to, is that there was the rumor of what the show was of. The deleted scenes of how different the show was, and we'll go over it in a second. But Winston, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna. I wanted to. I don't want it to seem like, because we said it was fine. That means that there were good elements.
Of course,
to it, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm just like trashing the show, because I'm not. So like some of the things you said, the family stuff, I think when done well is really well. The one thing that Marvel always gets right, and I have to give them credit for that. We very rarely have seen bad acting.
Yeah,
this is this situation where the acting in this was very spot on. I thought, like you said, Biscuits. Like,
I love Biscuits.
That's hilarious.
Biscuit rules.
Not just the name, but just like how he's acting. I thought the grandmother really did do a wonderful job of that. I love the 3 goons that you'll meet in the. I know
the rink.
Yeah, yes, you might feel
hated that.
No, I liked it.
Hated.
I liked it in the sense that like I love watching.
All right, I'm gonna give a quick spoiler. I have to.
Okay. Which part? Which part?
So this is a quick spoiler for episode 3. So if you haven't seen it, then just fast forward and I'll put a time code. So they know how dangerous this woman is. They know that she is the one who, at the time, they think killed Kingpin.
Right.
So this guy wants to make sure that he locks her down and that he catches a reward and he does all this stuff. So he calls New York. And who does he call? His sister, who's out of her freaking mind. And then the most incompetent ever friend. What? And then it's so bad. And then they wonder, what are you doing in there? It's like, come on. It was so bad.
Here's why I enjoyed it. Breaking Bad is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Don't you dare compare them to Breaking Bad.
Where's this going?
I need you to hear me out, sir. I need you to hear me out.
Don't make me regret that I did not lock that door.
We could have started earlier, Winston.
I'm not comparing it to Breaking Bad and saying that this show even holds a candle to it. But one of the things that I do love in these kind of like gangster or drug stories is the incompetent like henchmen that really. So because on top of that, that also helps you balance out to see how terrible.
Right. But Jesse and his friends were established, and you earned that when they got into those things. They just showed up, and you're like, who are these?
You got teased with that in the first episode when she shows
him.
up. Yes, when you're talking about the other two.
Yeah.
It's goons, and on top of that, even with the MA, we're still dealing with the fact that this is a comic book. So like,
no, that's come on. The Dark Knight was a comic book.
I understand that, and there are also some goons in there, like
but not like that.
I get it. I get it. That is too.
Jack Reacher, one toilet bed.
I get it. But that's the whole point. You got to remember, you're talking about one dude that kind of is in this crime world, but these are country hicks that live in this small town on a reservation.
Ozark had country hicks in a small town that were terrifying.
I mean, and I understand that they're not meant to be terrifying.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean from the show that was pitched in the trailer to the CW aspect. That's the CW aspect.
Sure, if you want to give that the CW aspect, that's fine. It didn't bother me to see it. It didn't bother me to see it. It is what it is. Especially considering we have had things that are actually the dude you were talking about on Loki. That was bad.
That was bad.
That was bad. I've gone back to rewatch it. That was bad.
He was
okay.
What did he say? The reactors. I'll make sure to get the reactors.
So like, what are you? Line sears in your mind. So yeah, no more dead cops. But like when the line just with you.
But the acting is something that I will give credit for, and then Marvel has done a very good job about being able to bring cultures into these shows. So bringing in specifically native culture and really like giving moments to highlight that. I thought the lacrosse scene was awesome.
That was cool.
You know, so like that kind of stuff like that. Those are the things where I give them so much credit for. They have not missed a mark about showing us varying diverse cultures in What If, in Wakanda Forever, in all sorts of Miss Marvel. You get to see that.
It felt like Miss Marvel in that it incorporated a culture that didn't feel like it was pandering.
That's what I dug about it.
Yeah,
I felt included.
Right.
I felt included in that I was learning. That's the stuff, as you said. This is not like I started by saying it's fine. Like, you watch my reactions. I'm going, there are things that I dig about it. There's other times I'm just like, oh, I wish that was better. That's always it was more so like this. I never felt like this. It's minus the Jack Reacher toilet people. Other than that, I was like more so like, oh, it's gonna be so good, and it just never got there.
To take my one little sports analogy for the day, what the thing that ends up happening, I feel like with all of these shows when you're bringing the culture in, and that's what makes it kind of hard. It shouldn't be a trick play because the heart and the soul of anybody's story is who they are at their core, right? But that being said, even though the culture stuff is not shoehorned in, it is done exceptionally well. That feels like a trick play. That feels like a flea flicker that you got exceptionally right, but your run game sucks. And so, he don't get it.
Flea flicker.
He don't
run
get
game.
it. He don't get it. He don't know what that means.
Sports ball.
He don't know what that means. I say all that to say, just like I love that Miss Marvel, that Wakanda Forever. Well, I actually like Wakanda Forever. That they get the cultural stuff, but then when like the key elements of like making me want to sit and watch the show don't work, that's hard.
The same thing with Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, to me, like the stuff that works is that family stuff, and the superhero stuff, I'm like, whatever. It's the same. It's the same. I've seen it a million times. This is less of that and more of like, oh man, if it was just, there was just something missing. There's just something like missing.
I'm curious what you think when you get to the end. And one, I hate the expression sports ball. I'm sorry to sports fans. But I think that at the end, I really like how they land the superhero stuff with the mysticism. There's a really cool moment that ties in the culture they influence. And instead of doing like a superhero landing, I don't want to give it away, but instead of doing a superhero landing, I like that reveal. I thought that was really like unique to this world. And so I think it might get better for you, especially 4. I think 4 is the best episode. But I think overall you'll be less bothered by things. I do. Okay. I think it ends strong. Good. Okay. I think 4 is excellent. So overall it resolves well.
It's just like
5's a little rushed. 5's a little like it's got a lot to have to do, and it feels it.
Well, you said that about Moon Knight though, and I don't really agree. And I'm in the minority.
You think the final episode is the best?
No. The penultimate is the best.
Exactly.
For sure. But I remember when we were talking about but I can't remember who said it. One of you guys said that then it just ended trash, right?
Trash.
Someone did. I don't know. Someone.
I don't love the ending, but like Moon Knight I think is better than a lot of people do.
But I do too. Moon Knight, the last 15 minutes of it was like, oh, it was rushed.
Giant crocodile gods?
Yeah, not great. And especially after coming off of that, to me, that was one of my favorite episodes of Marvel television ever was that penultimate episode.
Absolutely.
So freaking good. But I hear what you're saying. But it does end in a way at the end of episode 3 that I'm going, okay, well, let's see how we end. Can we stick the landing? And as I said when I was even tweeting out about it, it's fine. Yeah. It's like compared to like some of the other shows, it's way better than I guess Secret Invasion. It's way better than She-Hulk. It's way better than I think it's better than a lot of the different shows because I do like the tone that they were going for. I think it's like it's almost like keep going for that. Keep going for that tone. You know, who said it yesterday? I think it was Kalinowski was talking about such a great point that I never really thought about that we didn't really talk about is that normally with television, back in the day, you pilot season, you shot the pilot, you hope to get the pilot that the networks were happy enough, and then you go to series. Now it's go to series.
And it used to you'd have a recast sometimes for the pilot. You'd have a new actor in a role because that part didn't work. You'd actually get it tested.
They don't do that anymore.
No,
it's just it's like they greenlight and then you go for streaming, and it's like that might not be the way to go.
I'm so curious because there's a couple things that I will say that Marvel TV again does exceptionally well. Look at WandaVision. Look at Moon Knight. Look at this. They really do an exceptional job of the penultimate episode. Really being like, God damn.
Yeah.
It wasn't the penultimate, but it was the one before that in Falcon and Winter Soldier when you see what will become U.S. agent kill that dude with the shield. That wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, that was episode 4, not 5. And that one was
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I also think this show and that show both landed their tones from the creator's side well. I think the overall show didn't quite get the tone it wanted, but I do think that there was a vision in the directing, in the way it was shot, the DP work. It felt specific, and a lot of Marvel shows haven't.
Sure.
So to me, obviously Loki did, and the good ones do. Yeah. WandaVision did. But this show, I love that the cinematography of the motorcycle flowed into some of the Native American art. And
the music's great, and the music's fantastic.
You haven't gotten to the super suit yet, but there's a lot of things that feel intentional, and that's what I liked about it. But I do think it did suffer from, it's not as bad as what rumors we heard on Watchable and Releasable.
Not at all.
But I do think it suffered from whatever that stuff was leaking into the final cut, having to be pieced together after.
Well, because in it's one of the same things that like Boba Fett did not as guilty as Boba Fett, but still Boba Fett. When you saw those trailers, you're like, and you heard interviews. This is a gangster story. This is the Godfather and Goodfellas of Star Wars, and it was anything but that. The guy was not even close. He became less
as time progressed. He was like a friendly uncle.
It was, and every single time, I'm Boba Fett. Yeah, we get it. We know you.
He became like Tamora Morrison, the guy. Yeah. Like this friendly uncle.
Yeah,
he just like Boba Fett went from being Boba Fett to like, hey, I'm Tamora Morrison. I'm a friendly fellow.
And so when I say this, it's not as drastic. It's not as intense as the I don't know, mismarketing or false advertising as Boba Fett. But this is they set it up like it's this full-on Netflix Daredevil thing about the relationship between,
especially that first episode.
Yeah, her and Kingpin. And it isn't. It's more so about the family and then this small town thing for a bit. Like they're trying to go for like a Sons of Anarchy thing, which is fine and it works. But it's not the trailer that they were trying to sell everybody on because that they knew that what they cut was the more intriguing thing.
And I think the thing that the trailer was the Hawkeye reaction. Yeah. I think that this trailer was in response to our opinion of Kingpin. And the stuff I think they added was all the hardcore intense stuff.
Right.
Love the silent film part. Thought that was cool.
Yeah.
100%. There's some great stuff, as you mentioned. There's some really cool stuff in the show. It's just like, from all the cool stuff, you're just like, continue that thread. It would go like this.
But that's, again, I think that's what they do really well. They hit genre stuff so well. So doing in Moon Knight, the Inception stuff, doing the silent film in this, doing all of those homages to TV and WandaVision, which is why we were so hooked, because it was like, you're doing the mystery, but damn, you nailed like the I Love Lucy. You nailed the Modern Family. You nailed, Right. So, yeah.
All right, before we move on I want to get to the Echo thing about what the show is supposed to be, and it's a little bit more detail about that on a report from comicbookmovie.com. I wanted to tell you guys both about Trade Coffee and AG1. Tell you about them both right now. I've been telling you guys about AG1 for a while. Did you start AG1 yet?
Let's say G1.
Oh, stop that. I got to tell you about AG1. AG1 is the best because taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should be simple. And that's why for the last 2 years, I have been drinking AG1 every day, no exceptions. Just one scoop, you put it in a bottle of water every day, and it makes me feel energized. I'm focused, I'm nourished, I'm strong, I'm ready to take on the day. It's because it's awesome. It's awesome. And each serving of AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and more. It's a powerful, healthy habit, and it's also very simple. What I do is I wake up and I have one of those packets. I put it in. I got this Zoo cup. I love this Zoo cup, and I put the AG1 because I can't take 75 vitamins. I just can't do it. It's all because people take all these vitamins throughout the day, and I just one. Put it in packet. You shake it up. Extra cold water. One scoop. That's it. If I'm running short on time and I can't mix my AG1 before I head out, I just take the travel pack. And each is an individual serving of AG1. It's easy to mix on the go, and it helps me ensure my daily nutrients no matter what. I did it on when I did the Big Thing live shows and in the stand-up comedy show. It's like I have them, I'm good to go. Because if there's one product that I have to recommend, I recommend this all the time. If you've been watching my show long enough, you know I've been AG1. And I partner with them for such a long time. If you want to take ownership of your health, start with AG1. You got to try AG1. You get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/bigthing. AG1.com/bigthing. Check it out. I'm telling you. Before you go, I'm going to give you AG1.
I want that. I need that.
You will love that. I'm going to give you some. You need Trade if you want to hit the ground running with your New Year goals. It's a subscription service. It sources the best coffee across the country, and it brings it to your doorsteps. And they built relationships with over 55 local roasters, and you can enjoy their craft from the comfort of your own home. There's multiple ways to experience coffee with Trade, and you sign up with a subscription or try one of their starter packs today. Riley, look at this one. This is the one that I'm going to start.
I know. I'm a
staring at it. Right?
Huge coffee drinker here, so I'm now.
This is so convenient. It is so convenient. The delivery service is so convenient. And it's fantastic coffee. It's fantastic coffee. It is so good. And I'm telling you, I want them to come back. If you like this show and you are supportive of this show and you love coffee, get yourself some Trade. I'm telling you, get yourself some Trade. It is absolutely incredible, and I can't sing their praise high enough. It is so good. It smells good, and you can jumpstart your year. Just sign up for a Trade subscription right now, and they're offering a free bag with select subscription plans when you visit drinktrade.com/bigthing. That's drinktrade.com/bigthing. Get a free bag with select subscription plans. Do it. drinktrade.com/bigthing. All right. Thank you to our friends over at AG1 and Trade Coffee. Love the smell in here every time we got Trade Coffee. Winston, take a whiff of that, by the way. Go and open it up.
Whenever a white boy tells you that,
Take a whiff.
typically
You're going to get high or something, but it's a.
God damn.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
I was going from here, but I want a deeper hug.
Whoa.
It's so good.
You got any extra, bro?
I'm telling you, there's a great deal going on at Trade Coffee right now.
Watch the ad.
Watch. So
That smells great.
I'm telling you, and
Don't let me forget when I leave.
you
to
should
look
do
that
it.
up.
I'm telling you, Trade Coffee, AG1, they're both fantastic. And you guys, you want to help out the show, and you want to get that kind of reaction, go and get them today. I want them back. I want somebody to get them today. All right, This could be, I guess, a possible spoiler. So for Echo, here's the report. It says a closer look at a deleted scene from Echo sheds new light on how the series changed over time, with the seemingly minor sequence changing everything we know about the latest MCU series. No matter whether you loved or loathed Echo, it probably didn't take you long to notice that the series was put through the ringer during post-production. From a shoehorned-in recap of Maya Lopez's backstory to those oddly situated flashbacks featuring her ancestors, rumors of Marvel Studios cutting an entire episode now makes sense. When Maya reunites with her cousin and grandfather, it is clear that it isn't the first time she shared the screen with them. We don't know whether Echo required extensive reshoots, but the second episode, for example, has 7 credited writers. We'd bet on there being a lot of scenes which didn't survive the editing room, and only can hope that Daredevil Born Again, which is being completely overhauled despite several episodes being shot, now fares a little better. Scooper, Can We Get Toast, recently shared a screenshot from one of Echo's trailers offering some insights into a major sequence which was deleted. There was a scene where Uncle Harry was safely shot by Maya using Tucklow's powers, was actually filmed for Echo, and it was cut. Maya would have shot Henry to convince Kingpin that she was on his side, but Henry would have survived with the help of his mortician friend. Not only does this mean Echo was once planning to pretend she was on the Kingpin's side, but her powers were going to emerge much sooner. That suggests the entire finale was reworked, unless the idea was for Maya to return to New York with Fisk after their clash, taking his operation down from the inside. We'll never know. They gave it a 3.5 out of what? 5 or 10? I don't know. They said, how do you pronounce her name?
I think it's Alakwa.
Alakwa Cox is triumphant in Echo, a series which may have taken a beating in the editing room, but manages to deliver a ferocious, culturally significant story, which puts Maya Lopez on the map and ushers in a new era of MCU storytelling. All right, so they dug it, and I think that's fair. Like I said, I haven't seen 4
I
and
think
5,
3.5 is fair. I think that's
out
that.
of 5. I mean, I could say if 4 and 5 deliver for me, I would be able to. If it was like really, I'm like, well, 4 and 5 are awesome. Yeah. Then I could get to that score.
I guess you know what? Because you were talking about your grading scale. Like, fine for me is a C. A C is fine. It's not. You're not good job, but not like bad job. It's
Yeah,
just like,
I think C plus is a good, and I'd give it a C plus. So I guess 3.5 isn't. I'd go 3.75, but like it's right around there for me. Like that range, it's above average, but not.
3.5 is 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a C.
That's a C. Yeah. I'd put it slightly above that, but I think we're on the same page.
I'm in the 3.5, 3. I'd say 3 right now, and I got to see how it ends. So overall, look, the thing got changed, the tone changed. But what I was going to say is World War Z is a film that, if you remember that movie, if you remember what happened beforehand, people thought it was going to be the biggest disaster of all time because it was going through all these changes. There were a bunch of reshoots. There were a bunch of like things that rewrites, and they were like, "This is going to be a nightmare," and it wasn't. Okay? And it's a rare example, and people use that example all the time. Do I think that this is a World War Z scenario? Where like, oh, they made a really great thing. No, but they didn't make a disaster.
Sure.
And so whatever they did, I think that they did right because they fixed. Maybe it was just a bunch of. It was terrible. It's not terrible.
No.
And maybe that's the thing. If you saw the product and realized maybe it was really bad, because remember there were rumors they weren't even going to air this. We had heard that a long time ago, and then they got it to a place where like if we were working on something and we're like, dude, we have to put this out. We can't put this out.
And Marvel's under so much of a spotlight right now.
And then came back. But then you came back and you made this. But if you came back and you made this.
Yeah. And released it all at once.
You would say, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, we can put this out.
Absolutely.
And we can drop it all at one. It's a one good story. Is it the best thing we ever made? No. But it's a good story and it works.
Sports analogy number 2. Damn, the season's going to the toilet. At least we made the playoffs.
That's right. That's right.
You get that reference, right? There you go.
Surface level sports reference.
And even more, they didn't come in last.
Exactly.
That's the thing. They didn't come in last.
Because they've been coming in last on the public opinion, even if their box office has been good. This is better for them.
You don't have to be faster than the lion. You just got to be faster than everybody else.
That's it. So
Or at least not the slowest guy.
Yeah, this was faster than the slowest guy.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, if you guys, what'd you think so far? You know, did you think that they did a pretty good job? Did you like the show? If you didn't like it, is it because you thought it just wasn't good at all, or just kind of You know, I understand that more. I understand I don't know. It was fine, more so than it was bad. That one I don't get as much because there's been a lot of bad shows that have come out, and I just don't think this is part of that. All right, the big news that I kind of led with, we wind up talking about this one for longer than I thought we would, but Fantastic Four. Here's the news. Fantastic Four filming reportedly is delayed. Pedro Pascal exits Weapons to clear his schedule. Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four reboot was originally scheduled to begin shooting this April, but a new report is claiming that the filming is now being pushed to later in the year. Mark Cassidy says previous reports have indicated that cameras were set to begin rolling on Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four reboot around April, but it seems that the production has been hit with a delay, which could ultimately lead to the movie's May 2025 release date being pushed back. Jeff Snyder says filming won't get underway until Q3 between July and September, and he believes a release date probably imminent. In addition, Pedro Pascal, who is now said to be a lock to play Reed Richards, has been forced to drop out of Barbarian director Zach Cregger's new horror film Weapons in order to clear his schedule for Fantastic Four. Still waiting for that official cast announcement, but it's looking highly likely that Pascal will be joined by Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Eben Moss-Barack as Ben Grimm, and there are rumors.
No way.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite
know that
casting
one?
of all that.
I remember the rumor. I think part of what it was is we did talk about
talked
that
for a
before.
while, yeah.
I only am about to finish The Bear right now.
He's so good.
great.
He's such a perfect.
I just watched Forks. Dog. No. I just watched. I watched Fishes. I watched Fishes.
Yeah,
but I
Seven
love
Fishes.
him in Forks. I love him in Forks.
Yeah.
Like Fishes is incredible, but I love him in Forks.
He's the lead of Forks. Like that's his episode.
Right.
All right, so.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for
Sorry,
this.
me too.
No, I was as excited as you were when I was watching. I was into season 2, and that rumor was out there. There are rumors that Cillian Murphy and Mads Mikkelsen are top picks to play Doctor Doom, which host Kristian Harloff hates both of those choices, but other actors are sure to be in contention. So, is that it? No. The team's most prolific foe is not expected to have a significant role in the reboot. In fact, he might only show up in the post-credit scene, but the villain could well emerge as the big new bad of the MCU, especially after the news that Marvel has decided to part ways with Kang actor Jonathan Majors. Several well-placed sources have claimed that Doom will be one of the main villains in Secret Wars. Javier Bardem is said to be the top choice for Galactus, but his schedule may prevent him from signing on. The Eater of Worlds Herald is believed to be Silver Surfer, but a female take on the character. A recent rumor claimed that Anya Taylor-Joy is being eyed for that role, and the fans embraced it. Okay, so
They did passionately.
yeah,
So much. Real quick, since I was just thrown out there, I think hearing that at first, as far as like, oh, they're gonna do a female take on Silver. Yes, it exists. I was like, I don't necessarily need to, but the minute you mentioned Anya Taylor-Joy, I was like, actually, I could be okay with that. There are exceptions to every rule where you go like, I don't necessarily need this to happen.
so otherworldly,
but
dude.
she's so cosmic alien vibe.
Yeah,
I feel like she would crush it.
Yeah, for that, it's like, okay, just show me what's the role. How does it play in? I don't mind, whatever. As far as look, I love Cillian Murphy. I was so excited that he won for Golden Globes. He just played Doctor Doom. He just played. I don't need him to play Doctor Doom. I don't think he fits the role of Doctor Doom.
I don't either.
I don't at all. And I certainly think Mads Mikkelsen is the worst choice.
Bring
Why?
back Caecilius.
Why do I think he's? What are you talking about? Mads Mikkelsen's the best. Hell yeah, he's the best. He was in the MCU already.
Yeah.
He was already in Doctor Strange.
Stop.
There's more actors out there.
Yeah.
There are more actors out there, and you have a better chance. Get somebody else. Don't need Mads Mikkelsen again to play every villain in every Disney movie. He's in Indiana Jones. He's in that. It's like, stop it with Mads Mikkelsen. It's a terrible choice. And I love Mads Mikkelsen. You don't need him in more Marvel movies. Cillian Murphy, it's one of those things that they cast him. I'm like, it's terrible. He's freaking going to be an Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah, by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
Love him, but
Yeah.
he just doesn't fit. Like
Right.
that, you know
I
what
don't
I'm
think he
saying?
fits
Like
at all.
it's a situation where like you could look. Okay, let me find something other than a sport because I literally was gonna go.
Go
you could
for
be like,
three. He's going for three today.
I was going for a third one today. I was just gonna say it's like this is one of the greatest shooters of all time. I need someone to play defense. I'm like, what do you? Yo, one of the best home run hitters we've ever seen. I need a pitcher. Like I don't.
I think his eyes would look awesome peering out of the mask, and I
Sure.
think that he's got presence. But and this might be heightist or something that someone will claim I'm being inappropriate about. But I think his presence is, though larger than life, he's still a slight man. And
Yeah.
I think that like
Yeah.
no matter how you shoot, you can shoot Tom Hardy taller than he is. You can shoot certain actors taller than they are. There's a beautiful
Quiet
elegance
calm about him,
Yeah,
yes.
there's a beautiful elegance to his movement that is quaint. He's smaller, and I think that isn't Doom.
Vecna,
Yeah,
whoever that actor is,
he's got a big-
Vecna would be great.
He's just. I think that the problem is because I'm thinking him. The Ryan Gosling movie. The problem is because they
Rufus Sewell,
cast the
man.
Pedro Pascal, they have to be closer in age for peers. And that
Yeah.
kid, that Jamie Bowers, I think.
Jamie
he's-
Campbell Bower.
Yeah, so that kid, he can't even be 30 years old. That guy.
Well,
So, yeah.
you know, this is going to be controversial, and some of y'all might not agree with me.
Ralph Biscuits.
Ralph Biscuits would cry. No, just Biscuits. Biscuits was actually
The Echo
that's the
Origin
big twist.
Biscuits.
If that's the big twist, that Biscuits was Doom. I'm
After
in.
betrayed by Kingpin, he becomes Doctor
Hell
Doom.
yeah.
Dr. Biscuits.
This is gonna sound controversial, but oh my god, I just forgot his name. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, see, he's my read.
Not anymore.
Well, I mean,
but
yeah,
him,
apparently.
but him and Pedro. I actually would. I think that he would actually do an incredible
Yeah.
job at Doom.
He's also got a slightness to him, though. Even though Don Johnny put on the muscle, he always carries himself like a smaller guy.
And there's also that thing because he always kind of plays that nerd a little bit. You can see the slight that he.
well,
would
that's why I
feel
like
from-
that's why I like him as Reed. But I know Pedro. It seems like, especially if they're moving it for him.
And I also don't like that casting too. I love Pedro
Which is
Pascal,
fine.
but it's the other thing with that Pedro Pascal casting is you better put if you're going to Vegas and it's out there, him having a major role in that Mandalorian movie with, or as I say, Mandalorian and Grogu. That's the name of that title.
It definitely is. But it's the Grogu movie.
But if he's in that movie, it's a quick cameo like he did. It's his voice the entire time. Because some people are like, well, they're going to definitely need him.
No, they don't.
That movie goes into production this year.
Yeah.
And no chance. So, yeah,
you think he hurt his arm doing stunts and training for Fantastic Four?
The question is whether or not he's going to have enough time to do any of this stuff. And like I said, I think he's great. But it's kind of, although he's not been cast in a Marvel thing before, he's in everything.
It's funny because Pedro Pascal on any other list, I'd be elated. Cillian Murphy on any other list, I'd be elated.
Yeah.
Vanessa Kirby on any other list, I'd be elated.
I love her.
I love her for it, but depends on who their read is. Because it's chemistry.
Sure.
I can't put her with Pedro in my mind yet. Obviously, I trust the casting director. Obviously, I'm excited to see it. But when I think of this cast, the family's so important. I can't picture them together yet.
Right.
So I think that this list on paper, I'm way more excited about than when I actually sit and think about it. And I think Cillian Murphy is literally one of my favorite actors of all time. He's one of my favorite actors alive right now. I still don't quite see it just because of how intimidating I see him as physically.
Right.
Oh my god.
Guess?
Oh my god.
What do you got?
Colin Firth.
Who?
As Doom?
You're talking. I'm talking like that's Kingsman, right? That's the same Colin Firth. Isn't
Yeah.
It?
Oh.
Yeah.
He's like 60 years old.
Yeah, I was like, isn't he like 20 years on Pedro?
Okay, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't look that old.
Earth.
He doesn't look
Like
that old.
63 years old.
Okay, and how old is Pedro? How old is Pedro?
Pedro
How old
Pascal's
is
like
Pedro?
46.
5, 46? Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's about the same and wiping me
let's put Anthony Hopkins in there.
We do crack. What are you talking about? That man's got 2 good years left in him. We fall down hard now.
Yeah, let's put Anthony Hopkins in there.
Yeah, might as well. He's got a great voice and presence.
No, they just resurrected George Carlin.
Yeah,
in a
Sean
special
Connery's
with it.
coming back, and he's going to be Doctor too. No, we crack hard, Winston.
That's fine. I literally was just.
It's time, you Fantastic Four. I'm gonna get you all.
80-year-old Samuel L. Jackson is moving much better than any 63-year-old white guy at this point. Put him in the suit. It's just how it goes.
They might as well.
Might as well. If the Mads is
That's
up
Nick
for
Fury.
it.
It's multiverse. I think Marvel's casting is compared to you look at James Gunn. To me, is a casting wizard.
Yeah,
he really is. He's a casting wizard, and I think compared to Marvel. They don't hold a candle.
Phase 1 through 3 Marvel, I would argue they did, because if you look at what the magic of what they had to do, they had to plan 10 years in advance, and they had to look at chemistry going forward with all these people that weren't going to be in movies together yet.
Yeah.
Like that first phase especially, you have 4 disparate movies leading to 5. They had to have their chemistry mastered to hope that would ever exist.
Right.
So I would say that it was exceptional, and now it's great, but it's not, to me, what it was.
Totally. All right. So, like I said, it's got to be a shorter show today, but I want to get into this. I mentioned James Gunn, and I want to talk to you guys about this Supergirl casting. Supergirl, Millie Alcock, Amelia Jones, and Meg Donnelly in the mix to play the Woman of Tomorrow. Recent rumors indicated that the Flash actress Sasha Calle would not be reprising the role of Kara for the planned DC reboot, and now we have confirmation that DC Studios will soon begin the search to find our Woman of Tomorrow. According to Deadline, screen tests will get underway next month. Millie Alcock, Amelia Jones, and Meg Donnelly are in the mix, although the reports mention there is a chance that the studio could make a straight offer to a movie star. DC Studios' James Gunn is involved in the casting process, as the trade also confirms this new take of Girl of Steel will make her debut in an earlier DCU project, which means there's a decent chance the character will show up in Superman Legacy. The search for a director to helm Woman of Tomorrow is ongoing. All right, so we'll get into just the casting of those 3.
That's why I'm thrown off, because I literally thought for half a second, did Amelia Clark get married and change her last name? I didn't even realize it.
They're taking her out of Secret Invasion.
I also was, because I was then looking at the photo of the Amelia Jones that you. Yeah. Because she's the one that's in House of the Dragon.
No. That's
she's in
Millie Alcock.
That's Millie Alcock. Okay, so I guess that's why I was confused. I heard Amelia Jones thought that maybe she married somebody either with the last name of Jones, and because Millie Alcock looks so much like Amelia Clark, which it did on purpose because they need to look like family, like being descendants of each other. That all makes more sense now, and I know exactly who that is.
So Meg Donnelly, to me, out of the 3, look-wise, again, this is the same conversation we had about Superman.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about David Corn Sweat. I said the look. As what have I seen? And as far as the look goes, she's got a great look. My pick is Isabel May from 1883.
I remember you said that. You said that, yeah.
She to me is, because I also very familiar with her her acting, and she's a phenomenal actress.
What has she been in?
She was in 1883.
Oh, you
And
just said that. Okay.
Yeah, she was in a couple other things though too. But
I like Millie Alcock because she's got that alienness, that otherworldliness, and she's so talented. Like I
that
see
goes
it.
back to what you were talking about with Killian. She's just, to me, she seems so
She is very,
petite.
yeah. And there's a warriorness to Supergirl that, I mean,
She's got a
You can be a
warriorness to her.
small warrior.
100% you
But
could.
there's a physical presence
Millie
to Doctor
Alcock-
Doom that I think is so important.
Yeah, Millie Alcock was fantastic.
Yeah,
in
truly.
House of the Dragons, fantastic. Had it not been for the fact that they also had a, with the transition into when the character's older, also played just phenomenal. So like it just, because people were like, oh, I don't want Millie Alcock to go. I don't want her to leave. But
Yeah,
then
and
it was
that's
just such incredible.
Then
performance
everyone
of
was
both.
incredible.
So I think that, yeah, I mean, it depends on. Look, this is what I just said going into this. I trust James Gunn's casting. Sure. So if these are the three that he's like, okay, this is the, you know what I mean? This is what
And
I'm
at the
looking
end of
for.
the day, I trust Marvel's casting too, to the point where I'm thinking about Killian and thinking about all my issues. But at the end of the day, how they shoot him, like he's so mentally intimidating. All of his gestures, his eyes are so piercing. I could totally go for it. I just want to see it before I feel connected to it.
Yeah.
Same with Millie Alcock. I think I would just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now show me.
Should be, say, as far as look goes, for me, the look, I think that out of the three that they are up right now, Meg Donnelly has the best look as far as Supergirl, again, for me. But what do you say out of those three? And is there anyone else that you could see?
That's the thing. I was trying to go through all the media, and that's the problem when you watch so much at a time. It's hard to process it all. You know, I don't want this to happen because she is already playing a pretty prominent superhero. But the actress that plays Starlight, I actually think would like gives me the look pretty well. But she's already doing something with the voice, so you don't. There's no point in trying to redo that. But if I had to pick out of the ones you said, I would go with Millie Alcock again, just because of the House of the Dragon performance. I got enough to go, yeah, okay.
And you're more familiar with her for sure. But the other question I had for you is that they mentioned that Warner Brothers might just go straight out to a movie star. Who's the movie star? Jennifer Lawrence? Yeah, that's what I think.
If you're gonna do that, then you try and convince Florence Pugh to be in both universes. I think because she fits it a little bit more than Jennifer Lawrence does.
Really?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, she's the age and
I mean, maybe age wise, but look wise, I don't know. She, especially, I think Florence Pugh's a great actress. I don't get the hype. I think she's a great actress. Great actress.
get the hype.
And she's also in Marvel. She's also in the MCU right now.
No, I
She's
understand
busy
that.
in
That's
the
what I'm saying.
MCU.
Is if you want to do both, that's the question. Is do you actually want to go down that path and do both of them? And that's a lot to do. So probably not, because she is. With her, did she end up winning the Oscar? No,
Right.
she just got nominated, right?
I don't remember.
But is she a major? Would you say she's a major movie star
Oh
yet?
yeah, dude.
I don't know if she
I'm
is a
not,
major
I can't
movie
think of a
star
lot of
yet.
people between 20 and 30 that are major movie stars right now for some reason.
Well, Jennifer Lawrence is a movie star, whether or not her things. And I don't think.
I think
and
she's
I'm
a
gonna-
movie star.
I'm gonna make
It's Jennifer of like those kind of leading ladies of that age at this point is Jennifer Lawrence, Emma Stone, and
Right.
honestly Florence Pugh. She's kind of that. She's if this is a Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole situation, Florence Pugh has at this point become the J. Cole. So Jennifer Lawrence is by far and away the Drake.
Yeah.
She's the very like she makes the jokes, I make
everywhere.
the face,
Yeah.
whatever. Then Emma Stone is out here being Kendrick.
Emily Blunt, but-
Exactly.
but
Emily Blunt's a little older than them.
she's a
isn't
little
older,
older, but I'm just you're saying on that. You're saying on
the
that
three of them in
age-wise.
that age range.
Yeah. I mean, look, it does. I don't know who the major movie star is that they would go after.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm
not-
thinking. There's not a
sure.
lot in that generation that is
Yeah.
movie star because we just don't have that type of
Yeah.
sensibility about movies right now.
Oh my God, they better not cast Taylor Swift.
No, they wouldn't do that.
She's
gonna be,
Tesla.
and she's going to be in Deadpool.
That's fair.
We
That's
didn't
fair.
get a chance to cover everything today because, again, like I said, I have an interview with Ian McShane that I'm going to be doing, and that's going to air either this Monday or next Monday. And I have a feeling you guys will forgive me for cutting the show short because of so. I'd like to thank my co-hosts today, both Coy Jandro and Winston. Coy, you were on time. Where can I see it?
Yeah, so early today. First time, first mic. You can find me at Coy Jandro on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and I just put up my top 24 most anticipated of 2024 as of this morning, Friday. So check it out.
Winston.
I mean, I had to be fair to Coy. Is always the one holding up the caboose here. You can find me at the Swaggy Blur on all the platforms, man. Breakfast AM News. You see Game Time. We're going to hop into the playoffs. So definitely come and check out with me and Roka on Tuesdays. And that's it for right now.
All right, guys. So thank you once again. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. If you're brand new to the show, click that button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.